loraange ci wàllu wéeru gu yaram. One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sell te óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta Highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu.
Good morning there, you're watching QTV this morning and I am your host Jennifer Sonko, joined by Ali Cisse.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. It's a pleasure to be back here.
Yeah, so today is Thursday, the week has almost ended.
Indeed.
Today is our last day here of the week, but it has been really fruitful.
Indeed, it's been a quite fruitful week, but then, like you said, we're coming to end of the week.
Yeah, and during this week, TikTok has been quite heated. That's
what I've seen. I mean, the likes of SO are all on TikTok at the moment. No.
So yeah, we have the African proverb as usual today. We have the newspaper review here. We'll be joined shortly by our guest Adedirami to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers and also on Community Watch. If you've been following developments on social media, you realize that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency has confiscated drugs, and also on social issues we'll be talking about the appointment of Honorable Alajimbo in relation to the advisory board on internet governance, and finally click segment. It's been a while, so today we'll have an update as well from what is happening in the world of entertainment. So Ali, our African proverb.
Yes, thank you very much.
And welcome to the program, Adedirami.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Like you said, I mean, we are back here for your morning program here on QTV, and we're broadcasting live from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. And then the proverb for today is, a family is like a forest. When you are outside, it is dense. But then when you are inside, you see that each tree has its place.
Someone is smiling.
Mr.
Okay.
I'm trying to work out what it means.
Yeah.
Well, looks a bit complicated, not straight.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking like family is family no matter what. You'll always find your place.
Yeah, I think also with most families, some families almost have a kind of internal language.
Sure.
That anybody outside the family probably don't even
you always fit in.
Yes, but within the family, you know, you could say something to a family member and it will make sense to that person.
Yes.
But somebody who's outside the family will think, what does that mean? You know, so, you know, within the family, everybody knows their place and everybody knows that, even myself, amongst my
yeah,
family.
maybe from outside, you see that sort of unity among the family.
Yeah.
But when you get inside, everybody has his role that he's
Everybody
playing
has
to
his
make sure that
place.
there's that unity. And then, for me, that's what I understand.
And sometimes there's not even that unity, but people perceive it as such.
But it doesn't even
You know,
exist.
because
Exists, yeah.
routinely have people say to me, oh gosh, I really envy you, how you and your family. Because when I was in the UK, every birthday, every memorial or remembrance thing would always happen at my house. And we would have maybe 40 or 50 family members would come. And so people who weren't kind of blood relations, they were like, oh God, you guys are so tight. You know? They didn't know about all the arguments we had, all the internal fights that we had. Because when we met as a family, there was that unity and that's what people saw. So, you know, I think that might be something.
And when you meet, everybody has their spot. But just even outside of the African proverb, family is always family. But at the end of the day, sometimes family is also so difficult, you know. Being part of a family has also cost a lot of people so much pain at the end of the day.
And you know what? It's an African thing.
Yeah.
I worked in England with friends who, you know, they were my work colleagues. And, you know, they would say to me things like, oh, I haven't seen my brother for about 10 years. And you think, oh, have you guys had an argument? You both live in London. It's like, no, we just don't visit each other. It's like, what? For me, it's like unthinkable. You know, when I was in London with my brothers and sisters, we saw each other every week. Like, literally.
And you find it very strange when someone
so
like 10 years.
when somebody says 10 years, like, you know, eventually I got used to it, like just how, you know, it's different, you know, for different people, family means something different. And for Africans, and I've said sometimes it kind of holds us back. Because what happens is when you are a member of a family and you get to a prominent position, you end up thinking you have to find jobs for every member of the family.
Down the person up to anywhere,
regardless
you have to
of
help.
their talent or ability. And that's a hindrance. And I have to say, when you go to European countries, anyway, in England, you don't find that. You know, somebody would say, no, I'm not giving it to my brother, he's not qualified.
Exactly. And when you get that position and you do not do all these things for your family members, they're like, oh, we're even related, and he's not even supporting. And also, let's take a look at the dependency ratio. At the end of the day, it becomes
a problem.
It becomes a problem.
I mean, just this morning, I was reading something where they posted loads and loads of black people in America who were complaining about Obama, that when he became president, he didn't give jobs to lots and lots of black people. And I'm thinking, that's not his job. You know, that's not his job. You know, so what? When a white president comes in, that person should just give jobs to white people. You know, that's what you're saying, effectively. You know, and, you know, some guy just posted all these things about all these black people complaining, oh, Obama didn't give jobs to black people. You know, hey, it's not what he's meant to be there for.
Yeah, and when it comes to the dependency ratio, I don't think it is as bad outside of the Gambia, where you're walking and you're supposed to give allowance to everybody, because that's it's our culture. I just don't want to be beaten when I get out of here.
Listen,
mentioning
go to
this.
any African country, you'll find the same. Any West African
country,
it's the same.
It's the same thing. It's not a Gambian thing. It's a general thing where what you work for people, like what you work for, you end up giving it to even family members who do not want to work.
Listen, when I was in the UK, a family cousin of mine was going through a divorce with her husband, and I went to kind of commiserate with her. And she said, oh, can I come and stay for a while whilst we sort out, you know. And I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. She ended up staying with me for 1 year and 3 months.
Wow.
1 year and 3 months in London.
Wow.
It's like, I'm not going to kick her out. She's my cousin. You know, but that's...
But because it's an African thing, that it is normal.
Kind of like, oh, I went to, you know, say, oh, you know, sorry to hear you guys and all, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, can I stay for a while we sort things out? It's like, you know, in the end, she kind of felt guilty and left, but seriously, 1 year and 3 months. And that's a family thing. And because I felt no compulsion to throw her out, or I wouldn't have never done it, because I thought, you know, if I was ever in a bad situation, she would help me out, you know, so we have that.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Adedrami, for that on our African proverb. And I've been getting comments from our viewers that they love the African proverb. They love this particular segment, and we do too.
We do too.
Yeah, we're happy you love it. So moving on, Aliu, just we can just read out the headlines there on the Standard.
On the newspapers,
and
on the
we
Standards.
have Faroya here as well.
Well, we have APRC tax credit for Barrow's victory, because they were very instrumental as far as the, you know, the Grand Alliance or coalition is concerned. UDP amends election petition to include IEC. And we have the Gambia Action Party Deputy Leader urges Barrow to appoint competent people. Gambia is not a narco state, that the Minister Sonko, Minister of Interior. that's what we have on.
Yeah,
on the,
so
on the point. And also, WHO says vaccines may be less effective against Omicron variant.
Omicron variant.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have GRA scores 95% of its revenue target, and also Village Foundation supports GTTI with learning equipment. And bread scarcity hits Carnifing municipality. Bakers want government to increase price of bread. So, and on the editorial, yes, I'm afraid that is all we have.
But also, don't forget, we have sports as well. Well, like we know, Papa Gassama is said to be among the 24 refs for the AFCON Cameroon.
He's
back on the international stage again.
I mean, you know, the man who put
exactly
on the map in terms of referee.
Exactly, Papa Gassama.
I mean, if you go back to the APRC story, there's a saying. They're saying that you know, success has many fathers, whilst failure is an orphan.
That's true.
And so, you know, anybody who backed any of the losing parties is not going to come out and brag.
Exactly.
Not at all.
They lost because of us.
Not at all.
But you know, when somebody wins, everybody wants to take credit for it. But really, I mean, if you look at that, well, I'm not sure it holds much water, because if you look at the National Assembly, their assembly members are from the Phonies, and Barrow didn't do that well, really, there, in what is APRC strong. So I'm not sure there's much.
And at the end of the day, let's remember that the APRC was also divided at some point.
Well, indeed.
They could have done a good job if APRC did not divide, if they were able to get all the APR supporters rally behind President Adama Barrow. And that was not the case. We also have to put that into consideration.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who had even a kind of marginal attachment to President Barrow is going to want to be claiming some kind of, you know, responsibility for the success. It's what happened.
Even independent candidates.
Well, yes, you know, independent candidates who endorsed him will say, you know, because I endorsed him, all the people who were going to vote for me voted for him, and so you can't get away from it. But
but the way people voted, really, the alliance with other political parties, did that really add to President Adama Barrow's weight to that extent?
Well, it has to, because if you look at it, he led a party that didn't exist 2 years ago.
Yes.
So, you know, where did he get the support? The support must have come from other places. Some of it is because of, you know, as president, he's been able to point to things that he has delivered. And that obviously will carry a lot of
weight as well.
A lot of weight. So, yes, but you need alliances, you need coalitions sometimes.
To be able to move.
In as much as, you know, the alliance has really helped in having him win the election, but also some of the development projects that has been implemented and that are also ongoing.
Yes.
You know, have
the reason why I asked this question, Aliu, is because I've interacted with a lot of people who voted. And most of the time, that is not what they point to me. You know, there are other things that they get to point at that directly has to do with President Barrow rather than the people around him.
You know, when you do, you know, sort of anatomy of any election, there will be 100
reasons.
And if you spoke to 100 people, they'll give you 100 different reasons.
Sure. But I just feel like one thing that most of the things that they stressed really did not have to do with the people around him at the end of the day. Yes.
As we said, I think development projects probably carried the greatest
weight at the end of the day. So we discussed this yesterday. Bread scarcity hits Carnifing municipality. Bakers want government to increase the price of bread. So yes, I saw that story by Ajibinto Drame where some of these bakery owners were talking about the fact that the price of flour is not really controlled. You know, it fluctuates all the time. Today is 1,300, today is 1,600. So I don't know if a control mechanism is in place, really, considering bread is something that we consume on a daily basis.
I saw somewhere on the forum where the Ministry of Trade is working with is it Nessim?
That's right.
One of the
flour.
Exactly, to ensure that, you know, the price is stabilized, you know, so that they are.
But why now?
That's as much as they can do. It's a free market. We don't have a kind of market economy that is controlled by government. So government does not control the price of bread. They don't control the price you pay for your taxi or minibus or any of that. You know, it's a free market. And if government starts to intervene, people will complain, actually. So, you know, I know people sometimes want government to you know, intervene on their behalf, but, you know.
So before you leave, on Fourier Steel, GRA scores 95% of its revenue target. Now that we are able to collect all this revenue, What else can we do as a country?
We can set them tougher targets because there are lots of businesses that actually don't pay tax.
Yes.
And I think GRA. Some people, when I was at school, if you scored 95 or 98, the teacher would say, "I'm not making the test hard enough."
Yes.
And so for the GRA, will say, "Oh, maybe the targets aren't tough enough."
Yeah.
Because if you drive along the street, you will see garages that make a lot of
informal
fixing, and they're all informal, and none of them are registered as a business, so they're not paying tax. And most people just pay them cash in hand. This is not an economy where people pay by credit card, which is routine outside of the Gambia. Even in some of our neighbors, routinely you see people just paying with credit card rather than with cash. And so it's harder to track and trace that kind of exchange of money. But if that tightens up and you force all of these roadside businesses to register, that's an even more greater source of revenue. So it's possible to do it.
Yeah, and with the digitalization, they're working on the digitalization of revenue collection. With that, I'm not saying there's any corrupt practice happening at the GRA, but that can lessen, any form of corruption that might happen, and it can further, give us more money as a country.
I think it's important. You talk about giving the country more money. I mean, yesterday in Bush, I was going to say tax-based. He said, like, I would say cash-based.
Cash-based.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have seen it, like, currently we have several projects that have been fully funded by the Gambia government. For example, the Akalam Road project, and $1.6 billion dollars. Yes. You have the North Bank as well, North Bank Road projects in Gain Sanjal and Kauros as well. So I think this is really going to help as far as, raising the required money is concerned.
Yeah, and to further also say that when it comes to NEDI, for the first time in the Gambia, through NEDI, young people are able to get loans from government coffers to be able to start businesses. So all of these things obviously is generated from the revenue that has been collected at the end of the day.
And the reason we say it's tax-based is because a lot of government projects are not from loans from outside. They're from the taxes that they collect from you and I, which is good. Which is good. And so to the GRA, I say, thumbs up, and we'll give you some harder targets.
Commissioner General Yankuba Dabo and team. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, right?
We want to have more.
I'm giving them a half thumbs up just to make sure they work harder. Anyway, due to time constraints, we have to stop here today on our newspaper review because we have a packed schedule today on this morning. So thank you so much, Adedrami, for joining us on the program. So on Community Watch, we will just take a look at this video. So this video has to do with the Drug Law Enforcement Agency destroying some of confiscated drugs. So let's take a look at that, and when we come back, we'll be joined by a representative from the Drug Law Enforcement Agency right here to tell us why they conducted this exercise and also to clear some misconceptions in relation to this. We'll be right back.
The drugs destroyed are 4 tons of cannabis, 238 kilograms of hashish, 17 grams of heroin, and 52 kilograms of cocaine. The event was witnessed by security heads, CSOs, the Human Rights Commission, and the media. Although the date for commemorating International Day Against Drug Abuse has passed, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia, chose the last month of the year to destroy the drugs seized during the year. Bakari Gassama, the Director General of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia, says the theme for this year, Share Facts on Drugs, Save Lives, is important because of the current realities we are facing.
Social media has become one of the main platforms that people get information. The convenience of information via social media is obvious, as it is easy to access, engaging, and can be easily shared with family and friends. Unfortunately, drugs and related matters are the common subjects of inaccurate news on social media. You are about to witness the destruction of huge quantity of drugs of various types. Public drug destruction is a practice that demonstrates accountable governance in law enforcement in the management of drug exhibits. The street value of these drugs stands at $109,529,070.
Abdullah T.B. Jara, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Interior, speaking on behalf of the board members of the League, said the agency is currently putting in place drug demand reduction strategies to engage communities because young people are greatly affected by illicit drug abuse.
Young people are deceived into believing that they can get their way through drugs and abandon education to venture into drug abuse and petty trading in drugs, thus ending up in the streets. There is also a clear indication that illicit drugs are adversely impacting on demand for public health, as seen in most of the psychiatric admissions in this country.
Honorable Yankuba Sonko, the Minister of Interior, urged people to take a firm stand against misinformation and share facts to help in the fight against illicit drug use.
We are aware that many factors making young people vulnerable to drugs. Key among them is misinformation. We have observed that young people, particularly girls, are increasingly engaged in abuse of controlled drugs. Most of them are influenced by lifestyles they saw in internet and other medium. The best way to reverse this trend is to counter the impression given and guide them through career guidance and counseling schemes.
According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the team this year's focus on International Day Against Drug Abuse is to combat misinformation by sharing facts on drugs from health risks and solutions for the world drug problem to evidence-based prevention, treatment and care.
Welcome back from that story by Babuka C. The Drug Law Enforcement Agency destroys over $100 million worth of seized drugs right there. And thank you so much once again for joining us, Mr. Jabate.
You're welcome.
Yes, so can you just take us through the exercise? I know that story is quite open, but yes, but we can just have an update.
Okay, thank you very much for having me in this program. Like this story has already stated, you know, this is an activity that we do. Usually we do it annually. This is cases that are taken to the court and they have already been decided and finalized. Okay. So those are the drugs that we destroyed. So this year we wish to do it on the 26th of June, which is World Drug Day. But on that fateful day, it rained heavily in the morning, so we could not go along with the exercise. Okay. So we had to postpone it until yesterday we were able to gather the people and do it. Because like it is stated, it is an open exercise in which the general public is invited to come and witness the destruction of the drugs. Because there are so many misconceptions being said, peddled around by people, you know, mostly drug users, or they are, you know, people who assisted them or aid them in their illegal activities, that, you know, drug officers are involved in, recycling these drugs back to society. Okay, not knowing that these drugs are safely kept, because like during the trial, they change custody from one point to the other, because at the point of arrest, it is under the custody of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. But by the time it reaches the court, then therefore the custody also has to move to the custody of the court. But once the court has decided on the case and then it is finally concluded, then the drugs is given back to the Drug Law Enforcement Agency for destruction. And this is something that we cannot just jump and do. We have to wait for cases to be decided at the courts, and then verdicts given. Then that's the time we can gather them and then do it one big exercise.
Okay, so there's no point in time where this happened, this particular allegation from the public.
No.
These particular, it's not all everything and I'm not portion.
No, it depends. Like I said, cases that have been decided. If a particular case is at the court has not yet been decided, we cannot burn the drugs. Because if you do that, you will tamper with the case. You tamper with the evidence during the trial, and that is not done. If you do that, we might, be charged for contempt of court. Okay. So we cannot do that.
But how important is this towards fighting the use and trafficking of drugs?
This is very important in the sense that people will see that we are burning it. Because now, look at the amount of drugs that were burned yesterday. It was just too much. If
worth $100 million.
Worth over $100 million. If that should escape our law enforcement officers and enter into the streets of this place, of this country, what type of people are we going to have in our societies? That we're going to see an increase in crime rate. We're going to see an increase in young people having mental issues, especially drug-related, drug-induced psychosis and related problems. So we will be able to see a lot of those kind of things if these drugs were not arrested. So the burning of these drugs is also to build confidence, transparency, because the people will see that Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the allegation that we are levying on them, that they are recycling these drugs back to society, that's not happening. This is why we do it as an open exercise. The general public is invited, diplomatic and consular corps are invited, National Assembly members, every section of society is invited to come and witness it. We do it openly.
Okay.
There's no restriction.
But I mean, this is something that has been going on in the past. I can say every year you know we do cover such events as far as your office is concerned.
Yeah.
But I mean, the use and trafficking of drugs continues unabated. I mean, people are still receiving reports of people being arrested.
Yeah, you know, like because this is an illegal activity. There is a lot of money, so therefore people will not be able to stop. But drug law enforcement agency, we are not also relenting. We are also on them all the time. So you know, we are also on it.
Yes,
what do you think is responsible, and what are some of the suggestions that you think, or some of the issues that you think should be addressed to help in the fight against drug trafficking? And
I think one thing I want to suggest is for government or whoever can do to help our young people with skills so that they could, you know, be gainfully employed either by people or by themselves, you know, that because like they usually say, an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Sure.
So if most of these young people are sitting down at the street corners doing nothing, obviously if they see chances in getting into drug trafficking and then having a little amount of money, then obviously, you know, they might easily be tricked into getting into it.
Sure.
So but once they are employed or there are skills, they have life skills that they could use to work, obviously, hopefully, I believe they will not also do that.
Yeah.
And on the issue of reinforcing our border security and border patrols, you know, our security, we also have some challenges, but we are trying our best to be able to control those areas, the border areas, because you know these people, they smuggle. In fact, in most cases, they don't use the official border points.
Sure.
So they use, you know, other sites to enter the country, because if you look at the Gambia and Senegal, our borders are very porous. You can enter from any side of the Gambia to go to Senegal, especially around the Casamance end. This is why, in fact, Drug Law Enforcement Agency, we have a lot of our officers deployed in the West Coast region than in any other region, because this is the region that is closer to Casamance, and Casamance is the region where most of this cannabis is coming from.
Yes. So on Fourier here, the Director General, Director Gassama, is saying that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is rebranding.
Yeah.
So what does he mean? What are you rebranding exactly?
Now, previously, Drug Law Enforcement, we are into the enforcement part only, but now we are into prevention and drug demand. We are into drug demand reduction, which talks about prevention at the same time and treatment of people with drug-related issues.
Okay.
Like I said in my previous programs, that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is coming up with a plan to have a rehabilitation center where some of these drug addicts will be taken into and then rehabilitated and finally released back to,
so how far with that?
Back to society.
How far with that?
It's on very soon we will start the construction of the site. Already a land has been secured, and you know some funding has also been secured towards that project. So like he said, we are rebranding in the sense that we are not only on the enforcement side of it, that is the arresting process and then prosecution. We are not only into that, but we are into sensitization also to tell the young people or the people about the dangers involving in drug-related drug abuse and related crimes. You know, because we believe that is a new way. That is a new system that has been introduced to fight against illicit drug abuse, because we believe once people are better informed, then they will be able to make informed choices when it comes to drug abuse and drug use.
So still on DG General Gassama, here still on Fourier, he's saying that misinformation about illicit drugs has drastically increased on social media space. So how is social media affecting your fight?
It's affecting it somehow, because you know some people are into social media. You can sit in your corner and post anything on social media. So somebody might see it and think that the information you are sharing on that social media platform is actually a very good one. So that might coax some people into it. Like the students, some of them will tell the students that if you smoke cannabis, when you go into a classroom or when you are studying something, you easily understand, which is fake. You know, so such things, they lure young people into cannabis use. And these are things that once you started using cannabis, it will come to a point, the cannabis, when you smoke cannabis, it can no longer give you the euphoria or the feelings that you used to have. So now that means you have to graduate from cannabis and move to other types of drugs. This is why you can see that a lot of them are into abuse of controlled drugs, like rose and other type of drugs. So these are some of the problems that social media is also creating.
Finally, what do you say about the claim that most of these repeated offenders are conniving with your officers? Because we feel some people will be arrested today, and in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you see them back in the streets. What's happening?
One thing, Cesar, people don't understand here is it is the law that allows for people to be granted bail. The law that gives drug law enforcement officers the power to arrest is the same law that's giving them also the power to release people on bail. So it depends on the conditions and it depends on the quantity that was arrested with you. In fact, at our level, sometimes if you deny you bail, if you go to court, you can still apply for a court bail and court can grant you bail. So this is why you see some people moving around. That does not mean their cases have finally been concluded. No, some of them are on station bail, some of them are on court bail. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Jabata. It's always good to have you here, and looking forward to that rehabilitation center. I am one of the journalists who have been interviewing, you know, the drug law enforcement agents and pushing them so hard in relation to having that particular rehabilitation center, you know, where stories can be told and changes can be made. So it's very important. Thank you so much, Mr. Jabata. So up next, a National Assembly member is now part of the advisory board when it comes to internet governance. So we will take a look at this short break, and when we come back we will get to have the National Assembly member here, and he will tell us what this means for him to be able to be part of the advisory board when it comes to internet governance, because we all know how bad digital rights are when it comes to African countries. Digital rights are not even known. I can remember having an interview with this particular National Assembly member and he accepted that. So we will go for this break, and when we come back we'll have him right here.
Provides for the setting up of an independent commission to ensure that decisions on the disclosure of government information should be reviewed independently. Access to information must be all-inclusive, taking into account people living with disability, and that information or reports shall as well be user-friendly to cater for the people with disability. Is part of good governance, meaning there is no secrecy in terms of what the government actually is going to do. I'm not saying that government will just say everything, no, because there should be some level of secrecy. I have a motion, and the motion basically is to refer this bill to the relevant committee for the mere fact that we are repealing an act that we have not received yet. And I'm sure before you repeal anything, you must have known something about a particular act. So I don't think it's in the interest of this parliament to go ahead with this bill without actually seeing what we are repealing. For me personally, I don't know anything about the Territorial Sea and Continuous Zone Act of 1968. I've never seen it before. So I think my motion is to refer this particular motion to the relevant committee for scrutiny. In fact, some I know, they even been forced that their annual leave is also part of the 6 months leave. That is the reality on the ground. And that is not correct. Your annual leave is your annual leave. Your maternity leave is your maternity leave. Specific time. Is there any specific time that we have in our laws in the Gambia here that says when this time comes, come and amend, or when this time comes, come and make a law? Is there any specific time? There is no specific time. So, and that's the reason why when people say this thing should have been done earlier, or this is not the right time, I really tend to question really those statements. I really cannot understand.
Hadamadung ilanyantolam preji kendomi annun jisenango adabe hadamadung la baluwole kono annun hadamadung ka fengo fen dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senawol ayke kuti mi yalla ko ata hadamadung mantora madungul One Stop Water Solutions Limited ibi janne Gambia banko kan annun ye fitarole natal me yalla ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senawo natale Gambia banko kan jiomi yalla ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba One Stop Water Solutions Limited ye fitarole natal me yalla ko alse muna nola alla pompol isalla jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang aboholo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa One Stop Solutions ya natalele 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotalele filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kendato fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko asi chemical bonnino jiol konole mense beta alla jata kendea filter mum boko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical be bondi akono pour kala jata kendea sa hen nim filter sabol be kili na pansundoku na wata tankol fanan sotali kabrim 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsemol tarano sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala ismol kumandi 5055691 796 8272 One Stop Water Limited Solutions inatale ka jiko be sonende Gambia Banko.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And on that video at the National Assembly, that was Alajimbo. So, and Alajimbo is the National Assembly member for Upper Salem and Vice Chair of the National Assembly Select Committee on Education and ICT. And he's been appointed as a multi-stakeholder advisory group with the Internet Governance Forum. Like I mentioned, we had a one-on-one interview where you showed me great interest in relation to ensuring that the Gambians' digital rights are protected. And now here you are, being part of a decision-making body to further strengthen that. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Well, I feel good. And I feel that this is something really we should have done, or at least the responsible people should have done. Because, again, when you go out there to make any impact, the people that can make the impact, I think it's very necessary for them to be on the table, not beside the table.
Yeah.
So I think this is something really that makes me really feel very good as a Gambian and also as a lawmaker in the National Assembly of the Gambia and the Pan-African Parliament.
All right, Ali?
Yeah, like you said, very important appointment for not only him, the Honorable, but the country as well. But like you said, the earlier video you saw is just a selection of some of the intervention of the Honorable at the Parliament on diverse issues that were being discussed at the Parliament, from the Access to Information Bill to the Law Amendment Bill to the Local Government Amendment Bill and all those things. But Honorable, like I said, I will join my colleague, Jenna Masengo, to say congratulations on this appointment. But what is the role of this advisory body?
Yeah, the Internet Governance Forum actually is a forum that is actually organized by the United Nations. When they have a need that the Internet basically is like, across borders now, and even though the sovereignty of nations is still intact, but the connectivity of people is actually disappearing, meaning that we live in a world where everybody actually is the same in terms of communication, in terms of doing business, etc., etc. So the United Nations see that it's very important to bring the stakeholders together, and that's the reason why they organize such a forum called the Internet Governance Forum. And this is a forum where multi-stakeholders, like from government policymakers, from lawmakers, from CSOs, from journalists, and from tech people that they bring on the table, and everybody's actually equal. So there's not like I'm a parliamentarian or somebody say, oh, I'm a policymaker or I'm a minister. No, on that table everybody is the same, and then we have an open discussion, frank discussion about the way or the thing that we really need to do. But at the end of the day, there's not a particular document that said, okay, you know what, we are finalized on this. No, they don't fire, but they promote open discussions about things dealing with the internet. And with that, they create a special group called the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group. And this is a group that would advise them in terms of organizing such a forum, in terms of also discussing issues, emerging issues in the internet, governance itself. So our group basically is a group that will be also advising the United Nations on things along those lines. And I understand it's established by the Secretary General of the UN.
Yes,
exactly. It's established by himself, and then it's a one-year term, and it's automatically renewed every year for another 2 terms, making that it's possible that you may be there until about almost 3 years, but sometimes people are there for only like 1 year. So the renewal of your term depends on your performance as a member. And I think this is something that's also very important, that they bring everybody together on the table to open discussion, frank discussion about the issue relating to the internet.
Yes. How ready are you for the tax, knowing the fact that it is renewable at the end of every year?
Well, I think I'm ever ready, because again, as an entrepreneur and as a tech person, and at the same time a legislator, I think these are the things that actually could make or break the internet. Because when you look at what we do as technicians, we only focus on what makes things work. Now, as a legislator also, when you're legislating, you have to be also very careful in terms of the human right aspect of what you're legislating. Because when you make laws, you are there to cure an ill in society. So making those kind of laws actually allows us to be able to really see into things that, as a tech person, really I wouldn't have known, because what I concentrated on only used to make something work. Now that I'm a legislator, so actually I have an open mind about, we need to do these things, because of now, whatever I do, I put the human rights aspect of what we do, the privacy aspect of what I do also into play. And I think this mark also gives me the opportunity to ensure that I put my views, I put my suggestions as a tech person and also as an entrepreneur back on the table to ensure that we all have a very open and very amicable discussion about the way the internet should work.
Yeah, I'm happy you talked about privacy. Going back to our conversation that we had the last time in relation to that Digital Rights Forum. So I just want to know, being part of this advisory body, looking at the Gambia, you know the digital rights problems obviously that exist.
Exactly.
So what suggestions can you take from the Gambia to that particular advisory board?
Actually, I think it's the other way around, meaning that I would have to take something from that forum to bring back to the Gambia. Because if you look at our digital laws, they're almost non-existent. If you look at our ICT laws, purely, I can say it's one of the weakest in the region. Because really, right now, I'm aware that they have some cybersecurity laws that the government is intending to do, which is at the level of Ministry of Justice. I'm also aware that they are also working they are also working for private data protection. But all those did not come into fruition. So for us as a country, as a Gambia, I think we are way behind in terms of laws relating to the internet, especially digital rights. So for us, it's almost non-existent. And the only one we have that we can actually refer to maybe is the Information and Communication Act 2009, and that one purely deals with telecoms itself, like telephone calls. How do you handle them? How do you store the data? The text messages, stuff like that. But that's where it actually ends. So it does not actually go into detail. So I think my responsibility now, being a Gambian, knowing what we have in this country, is to be able to go there, have an open discussion, see what's actually happening with my counterparts, especially like in the European Parliament, and also that we also have the Council of Europe, that also part of the game, to see exactly what can I learn to bring back in my country, just to ensure that we prepare ourselves better, because the way technology is going is not waiting for anybody. So, and I think it's for us to play a catch-up game to ensure that we have the laws, we have the regulations in the country that will be able to protect digital rights and also to protect people, because it is the responsibility of the government to protect people and their properties. And again, now that we live in two worlds, one which is the physical world we live and the other one in cyber world, everybody lives, all of us, we have another life outside our physical life here. So I think it's important that we also have something in play that would actually protect also some of us that also have another life in the cyber world.
So Mr. Mbo, let me take you back a little bit. I think it is important because really people in the Gambia are not really au fait with the job of select committees, National Assembly select committees. And I think this is an opportunity for you to just tell us the mandate of the Select Committee on Education and ICT. In as much as now you're at an advisory board, then we need to see the connection as well. Please let us know.
Actually, parliamentary committees basically are the lifeblood of every parliament, anywhere you go in this world. Because those are the people that would, because all of us at one time cannot take into account every single thing for government. And that's why we are divided into committees, and each committee is responsible for a particular area. Like my committee dealing with education and training and ICT. So we look at that particular aspect of what the government does. Essentially, the Minister of Higher Education, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, and also the other tertiary institutions that we have in this country. We look at really what they do, whether what they do is in line with what the real government wants to do. We have to make comparative analysis, and also to ensure that the public funding that we actually give them also is put to best use. So we also look at some of the policies they want to put in place, whether these are policies that will actually help us as a country or not. And sometimes we challenge them. We challenge the ministers, we challenge the permanent secretaries, and even the heads of institutions. We challenge with them a lot of other things, like we just concluded a bill like the NACA bill that actually oversees all the tertiary institutions in this country. So it's upon us as a committee to really look at it in detail and then bring a report to plenary. I say, you know what?
Even the access to information.
Exactly. Our committee, So we take all those things into consideration, have a review of them by having also stakeholder consultations. We do. Now that the parliament, what we do is like we have public opinions, public consultations to ensure that whatever bills we have, or whatever we have, let's have what the people actually want, whether it's in line with really what the government wants to do, and then we go back to the plenary where everybody sits and then we do a report. So the essence of the committees really is to get to the nitty-gritties of all these things that some of the sectors actually do, and we bring back to plenary, and then we decide what to do. But we will give recommendations. Oftentimes our recommendations 100% they are taken care of, but sometimes we may have a debate here and there, and at the end of the day we vote whether we accept a particular recommendation or not.
What have been the main challenges as far as your work is concerned as a committee?
And to add on to that, this also has to do with challenges. I can remember our topic of discussion at that particular forum had to do with probably the power that the National Assembly can have to champion the digital rights of Gambian citizens that they are not actually exercising. So further tell us also the challenges in that direction in relation to digital rights.
There are various challenges actually, but in Parliament when the laws of the country is really very clear, unlike really, because there's nobody who approves our budget, for example. We create our own budget, we approve our own budget. So I can say that financial, we have financial issue. We cannot say that because that would be madness, because of we pay ourselves, we pay the president, and we budget anything we want to do in this country. So as far as financial aspect is concerned, I'm not going to talk about that because that would be madness for me to say that. But besides that, we also have some issues dealing with experience, dealing with knowledge about really what we do.
Exactly.
And the same issue actually we had in this internet governance in Poland. I was there last week. Yeah. So one of the issues we had was some of the parliamentarians are not au fait with technology. Most of those. So actually I was thinking only it's Gambia, but on the whole, actually no, it's worldwide. In fact, one member of parliament from the European Parliament said that, oh, you guys are even better. So that tells you really the level of literacy in the ICT that we really need to have those also in the parliament. Because of, again, if you want to legislate on something that you really don't have any idea about, that's going to be a concern. So we are struggling, and I think that's an area that we really need to work on, just to ensure that our parliamentarians actually are au fait with the technology, or how technology actually moving the world, to ensure that once we have legislation in place, we really can contribute immensely, and we also can put a mark on some of those things we have. And some of the policies that the government actually have, we can challenge them. But if you don't have someone that actually understands this policy, exact knowledge, so again, you will see that will be a problem. And I think that is not only peculiar to Gambian Parliament alone, but I think it's across the board in the Pan-African Parliament, because I'm there also. I'm also in the committee, same committee also in ICT and Science and Technology. But I can tell you, out of the 255 parliamentarians in the African Parliament, maybe it's only 2 of us that actually are au fait with technology.
That's sad.
So in the Gambia also,
that's at PAP.
Yeah, at PAP. So in the Gambia also,
the controversial PAP.
Exactly. Yeah. So in the Gambia also, we are a bit better, because if we look at percentage-wise, we are 58 in number, and I think we have 2 also that are really well off with technology. Myself and Honorable Sekou Marong of Falatikunda. So I think we are okay with technology, but then we need more people, so that we can push some of these agendas that will actually have a positive impact on the lives and livelihood of the Gambian
And
people.
event organizers say sometimes parliamentarians are reluctant to attend events to build their capacity. So I'm a bit confused here.
Well, that could be so, but again, one thing I may also say is we have very, very tight schedule. We have a lot of things to do as a level of parliament, not only with the committees, but we have people that also want to come see us. I mean, you cannot, because you are a servant of the people. So when people come to see you for some whatever kind of reason, you have to be open. And I think that's one of the issues that we are battling with, which is our schedule, and also what we also supposed to do as a parliamentarian.
But Honorable, building your capacity, you are serving the people, that's one thing, but if you don't have the capacity, how can you serve your people in relation to making the right decisions?
Yeah, I think that that's a very good point. And I think probably...
Is that an excuse, really?
Well, it's not really a big excuse, but I think they need to prioritize really where they need to be. For me, in particular, I think the whole country knows that I'm a tech person, but I have to develop myself in the financial aspect of it. So now that when I dissect the budget or anything else, you say, oh, this is a very good fine, but I'm not actually, because I have to learn this.
Exactly.
I have to make time
on
for
a
myself.
daily basis.
Exactly. I have to make time for myself. I have to ask, I have to do a lot of research, and I also have to call or talk to people that actually know more than I do in that particular aspect to educate me, and that's why I prepare myself very well.
Or maybe the trainings didn't just be for 5 people, 5 MPs or 6 MPs. Yes. Organize a full package for the MPs and take it to the National Assembly and organize it there.
And organize it for them.
Inviting 2 MPs, 3 MPs.
But probably those MPs who are specifically invited is because of their select committee.
Yes.
I can remember you attended that capacity building on digital rights because of your area of expertise.
Exactly.
So we also need to consider that at the end of the day.
Yes, and I think
but it's public perception that this is happening.
Yes, and I think what Ali is also saying, maybe perhaps we need to look at that into consideration, because whenever you have a parliament, all of us come from we have different backgrounds, different experiences and stuff like that. Maybe at the level of the parliament, they need to actually categorize us and then see where we need to be trained on, and then they organize some kind of training, either done by the parliament itself or maybe done by outside the parliament, to ensure that at least we have the basics, and then from there I think we'll be more productive in what we do.
Sure.
You talk about going to this internet governance forum and then trying to get the good practice there, bring them back home to improve what is available here. Is there anything good available here that you think you can also export?
That was my question.
Of course, yes.
Anything.
Yeah.
They can also learn from the Gambia.
Yes. It's important.
Yes, for example, what we have just concluded is access to information. Yeah. There are a lot of countries that actually don't have those kind of laws. Yeah. So, and access to information is fundamental human rights that every country actually needs to have. And there are a lot of countries in the world that do not have those kind of laws. And I think that they can also learn from us. And then
you used to have sleepless night.
Exactly.
I know, right?
It was really very tough. But I saw you know, the importance actually of having such in this country. Because for me, it's like it's going to reduce a lot in this, you know, how would I call it again, you know, radio kankang thing. You know, because people can go there and get the right information. So you're going to say that there is nobody who can actually throw you in the bush because of telling something that actually is not true, because you can always go there and get the right information. So I think as a country, there's a lot we can actually take out there. People can learn from us, especially some of these bills we are passing in this parliament here, which is actually number one is the access to information that other countries can also learn from us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you so much for coming. Due to time constraints, we might have to let you go. But just for further details, this particular story will be on QTV News, and we are further joining the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure to say congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations will be also accompanied with accountability. We will follow your work to see if you'll be able to deliver as expected.
Inshallah, we will do that. In fact, maybe there should be time where we can also take some of our journalists, because we also have a lot of journalists that attend such forums. At least you can go and see exactly what is happening and come report back to our country.
All right.
So the next one is going to be in Ethiopia next year.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you.
So we will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by our sponsors, One Stop Water Solution.
One Stop Water Solution.
For the first time, ñu wara ñew nekk fi ci biir studio bi wax ak ñun.
Wax fi dispenser ndox yi set yi.
Ndox yi set yi. Ñun soo gisee ñu toog fi rek One Stop Water Solution ñoo ñu fi teg. Ñoom suñ fi toog, ñoom suñ fi nekkutoon ñun duñ fi toog. So let's go for this break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by our sponsors, One Stop Water Solution. Do stay tuned.
Adama bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram. One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndox mu sell te wóor la, ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew, moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew. am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey. bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo. gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf, mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sellate óor. CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell, waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér-gu-yaramu doomu aadama bi, dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi. am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def, ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey. am nañ 10-inch post carbon, 10-inch coconut carbon, 75 GPD PO1 membrane bi. amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings. kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited. suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta Highway Mariama Kunda Johnson, wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272. One Stop Water Solution Limited, ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
ila nyantolem preji kendomi annun ji senango adabe hadama dungula baluwole kono annun hadama dunga fengo fengo dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senango ayake kuti mi yalo ko ata hadama dungu mantora madungul One Stop Water Solutions Limited ibi janne Gambia banko kan annun ye fitarole natal mi yalo ko isala jol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senango natale Gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba One Stop Water Solutions Limited ye filtarle natal mi yalo ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jol tente tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solution siya natialele 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotalele filter mi yalonko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalonko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kenda to fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalonko asi chemical o bondino jiol konole mense beta alla jata kenda filter member ko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical o be bondi akono pour ka alla jata kenda sa hen nim filter sabol be kiliwo kilina pansundoku na wata tankol fana sotale kabrim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fana be mol bulle alsimol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kumandi 505 5691 796 82
S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q Power. I am QCell. I am Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the Q Money platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q Money.
bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni du indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génnee fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génnee lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sellate óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi
amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings
kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sellate wóor seeti leen one stop water solution limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water solution limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I am your host, Jennifer Sonko, joined by my co-host, Aliou Cissé. Comme ni ma ko waxee woon balaa ñoo dem si break bi rek tey ñu tax ñu toog fi ñooñu join tey su ko defee ñu gën a mun a wax ba pare Aliou man tey kola bu ma sol sax dafa xaw a nduru ak One Stop Water Solution seen branding bi de yow tam sa bosa ngi xaw a sàcca blue tuuti kon lii dafa mut lii dafa mut te ñu ngi fi join by Dawda Wage thank you so much for joining us ba pare di wax tam jërëjëf si li ngeen ñëw join suñ team bi am na solo torop
jërëjëf yéen ñëpp ñu ngi sant ñëpp di gërëm ñëpp di rafetlu seen liggéey bu baax bi ngeen nekk di def ci réew mi wax dëgg yàlla mbette la kontante join ci seen programme bi liggéey ak yéen te wax dëgg yàlla media dafa am importance trop ci wàllu business parce que ñoo tax nit ñi gis ñu xam ñu ñoo xamante ne like ku nekk Basse tey mu ngi seetaan ak ñu programme bi ak ñu nekk diaspora bi ñëpp donc wax dëgg yàlla programme boo xamante ne bu ñuy follow la donc kontante moo tax ñun tamit ñu join leen ci groupe bi jërëjëf bu baax.
waaw lu am solo parce que comme ni ñu ko dee waxee rek doole jan lan la ndox ñun nag yéen a suñu ndox yéen ñu dooleel ci programme bi nga ñu mun fii nekk bés bu ne ñëw waxtaan ak askan waaye gis naa
te Aliou Cissé mooy Aliou Cissé war ta naan ndox bu tilim
yaa ngi gis
yow war naa naan ndox bu tilim
One Stop Water Solution daal am na solo trop ci dëkk bi am na solo trop
te Aliou gis nañ ay bagages yu bëri si kanamam tam su ko defee di ñu mun a wax rek One Stop Water Solution seen liggéey lan la bu njëkk ba nit ñi fogoon nañ ne ndox lañ dee jaay bu njëkk ba loolu la nit ñi foog waaye leeralal nañ leen ne yéen pour setal ndox la waaye yow nga gën koo leeralal rek
ok comme ni nga ko waxee ñun ci lépp li nga xam ne mooy defar ndox clean ko ba mu set lu ko waral nag dañu am problème ci dëkk bi problème bi la 90% kër yi booxool la ñuy am te ñu bari lu ñu xamul yaakaar na boo gasee booxool bi ndox bi set na rek war naa ko mën a naan déedéet te du noonu te also bu ñu fàttee doomu aadama wérgu yaramam 70% bi yëpp ndox la ñu bari dañu yaakaar ne deret mooy problème bi déedéet ndox bu manqué rek foofu ngay amee problème donc before ngay na ndox nañ ndox bi rek ndox mu nekk ndox bu set donc ñun issues boobu la ñuy gis ne wax dëgg yàlla qualité ndox bi problème la te ñëpp mënuñu jël xaalis da ngay dem jënd mineral water donc boobu ak xam-xam tuuti bi ñu am ñu provide am compagnie boo xamante ne spécialité ci wàllu ndox lay yëngatu donc comme ni nga ko gisee filtres yi dafa am size yu bëree bëri ak liggéey bi ñuy def dafa ute lu bëree bëri like bii nii dina filtre almost 3 times bu dee dafa am poison dafa am suuf dafa am chlore lépp lay génnee bii almost dina filtre 5 times dina filtre lépp bacteria ak lu mu tuuti even 0.01 micron da koy génnee te li ci am solo osmosis système la li ñuy wax osmosis système any mineral water boo gis osmosis système lañ koy defaree donc ñun machine yooyu dañ ko am ñu bari dañu yaakaar ne dafa expensive trop déedéet te yii fu ne mun nga ko install sa kër school office dafa am modèle yu bari almost am nañ 10 ba 15 modèle of filter mun nga ko def sa kër comme mun nga ko def sa office ak school garden ndox bu daal buy dugg ci yaram daal na nekk ndox bu set mu sell loolu moo gën a baax ci wér gu yaram.
waaw am na lu am solo loo wax mooy ne pour ñu mun koo fix ma bëgg a xam ndax lii nit ki daf koo fixal boppam wala One Stop Water Solution seen bopp dañu am team bi nga xam ne ku fa jënda dañoo ñëw sa office ñëw sa kër ñëw sa school fixal la ko foofu ba pare won la naka la moo doxee.
waaw ñaari yëpp dañ koy def. bu dee yow da nga ne da nga am sa own plumber mënuñ la jox nga fixal sa bopp. bu dee ko mënoo ko fixal am na suñu own team ñu la koy fixal. te wax dëgg yàlla like filtre yii nii. parce que dafa am yu simple yoo xamante ne any plumber mën na ko filtre. mais bu dee yii la moom képp ku ko jënd dinañ la may polo t-shirt like bi ma sol nii free. fii ba end of December dinañ la may polo bu mel ni free. secondly am nañ plomb boo xamante ne any issues boo am mun nañoo fixal la sa kër. waaw te am nañ filtre li ma la wax tamit dafa am ay capacity. like this one dina filter 25 litres a day. like xam nga par exemple normal kër. añ ak reer. donc loolu ndox boo xam ne moom di nga ko soxla. am nañ filtre yoo xamante ne dina filter ba 1200 litres a day. am nañ boo xamante ne ba 5000 litres a day. like bu nekkoon big school like wala mu nekk police station. wala big office like NAWEC wala like QCell te bu ñu neexee. seen boo xool fu mu nekkee ndox bi dugg ci all système bi yëpp. am nañ machine boo xam ne mun na filter yëpp because 5000 litres a day moom lay filter donc am nañ modèle yooyu yëpp te comme li ma la ko waxee problème la du question da nga gas boo xool rek ndox bi war ngaa naan because da ngay gis ci biir kër gi boo xool baa ngi nii sokowee baa ngi nii
comme ñoomi soo demee ñoomi
loolu jaara la am loolu jaara la am de amul ñoomi
xam nga loolu mooy problème
ñun ñoomi loolu amul
nit ñi bu ñu gisee ndox bi weex rek pour ñoom ndox bi set na déedéet donc ndox baax na wax dëgg la ndox boo ko gasee ci bool war nga ko mën a naan mais na nga suwane li ngay naan amul bactéria parce que comme loo xam ne day dugg ci yaram donc loraange bi mun naa bari te wax dëgg yàlla lii moom fixation is very simple te also li gën a bari yu mel ni am na fii mais SPA 4 bi moom lañ nit ñi di jooy ne non bu ma ko jëndee 3 months moo la changé filtre bi naka laa koy defee ñun SPA yëpp am nañ ko modèle bu ñu am nañ SPA am donc loo jëndee like this one 6 months nga koy change donc 6 months after boo gisee qualité ndox bi naqari na automatiquement nga ñëw nga jënd SPA bi automatiquement nga change ko
so maanaam soo ko jëndee mu yaaxu wala dara yow am nga garantie ne boo demee One Stop Water Solution di ko mën a wécc
SPA bi yëpp mu nga fa
ma bëgg a laajte tam si warranty lan mooy warranty bi because man suma machine man Sonko laa sant man dama bëgg a xaalis man Aliou so man warranty nag dama ko gëm su ma jënd dara ñu ne ma lii mooy warranty bi ndax yooyu itam yéen a
lii warranty 1 year la
1 year
anything bu ñu am 1 year la even pompe bi nga gis moom mooy def osmosis système bi SPA pompe bi am nañ ko
jeex na
waaw donc lépp ku bëgg lu leer daal boo eggee One Stop Water Solution Sukuta highway bi ci Marimakunda Johnson bi lépp a nga fa bépp bagage bu ñu jaay SPA bi am nañ ko amul no jënd naa lii non SPA bi mënu ma ko am déedéet bépp bagage bu ñu jaay ak tank dañ jaay water tank accessory plumbing fitting yëpp si dañ koy jaay yëpp am nañ ko
li ma si gën a neex sax dafa neex pour access am nañ fi ngeen nekka pour nit àgga fa yomb na trop parce que am nga mu si kaw yoon bi am ne da ngaa dugal ñu naa dugal koñ bi defal ni yaa ngi si kaw yoon bi su ko da jabang highway bi foofu yomb na dem foofu yomb na dem
te xam nga Aliou Cissé moom pour nga direct ko mu àgga place dafa métti so moom lu nekk si kaw tali bi rek la mu mun a te One Stop Water Solution mu ngi noonu sa kanam yaa ngi koo gis dafa yomba
wax na dëgg xam nga ñu suñu marché duñu dee mën a jël town trip xam nga amul oto dañ dee jël taxi rakasa van lii ma am na solo
waxee boo jugoon like turntable nga jël van yi dem Sukuta traffic light $8 yi ngay fay nga wàcc Marimakunda Johnson juste bi fa Marimakunda Johnson yaa ngi gis place bi boo jugoon aéroport sem da nga ñëw Sukuta traffic light mel ni ku dem aéroport 5 minutes rek sa right mu ngi fa donc pour nga gis ko comme signboard bi mu ngi fa comme ni nga ko gisal ci vidéo bi advert bi mu ngi fa water tank yu mag ñu ngi ci buntu bi automatiquement di nga ko xam foofu la
waaye gis fi benn tam bii xanaa arama jok bii fa ma jok rek bii bii am na solo de bii mooy ban nag
waaw bii dispenser la xam nga comme ni ko xamee yes dispenser la
waaye Aliou mbaa xam nga luy dispenser
man jaara
la jógee dafa sori
man ma dégg suñu dëkk dongoro ba ñoo xamul loolu
xam nga li gën a bari dispenser da ngay jënd ndox sol ko mu filter bi déedéet gis nga dispenser bi filter la like this one 5 filter ñoo nekk inside da nga jël waa connecteur bi rek nga connect directly ci tab bi ndox bi ñëw directly from the borehole or from NAWEC mu filter ko am nga ndox bu tàng am nga ndox bu sedd donc xam nga fii actually dispenser di nga fay courant fayat ndox pour tàngal ko bi déedéet only connect directly to the tap ndox bi ñëw directly mu filter ko
tàngal ko boo bëggee bu sedd boo bëggee normal water nga am ko.
waaye mbaa cher trop mbaa cher trop.
non seerul trop am na bu ndaw am na bu mag. te all time am nga 8 litres. reserve boo xamante ne mu ngi ko am ci biir. waaw am nga 8 litres reserve boo xamante ne mu ngi ci biir dispenser bi. donc courant bu afoon léegi. am nga 8 litres boo xamante ne mu nga fa. waaw
so dafa mel ni comme xëy na benn bottle boo xam ne mu ngi ko tax mu tànga ba léegi
yes mu nga fa am benn tànk boo xamante ne mu nga fa. waaw te yii yëpp complete la. dafa am sa on tapam. like tey nii boo ñëwee lii bii pour fix ko. ci sa kitchen ci suuf tap bi sink bi nga koy def. am na on tapam nga def ko boo bëggee clean water nga naan ci boo bëggee raxas say légumes ak say kii nga naan ko restaurant yi yëpp dafa war a am. because even raxas légume dañ ko def ak waxu ndox bu set. before ngay togg ak leen restaurant yëpp ñëpp ñi nit nañ ko. te wax dëgg yàlla loo xamante ne la. bu ñu ko comme ni ma la waxee wérgu doomu aadama yaram bi 70% ndox la. before ngay naan ndox ngir yàlla xoolal. ndax ndox boobu
am na solo xam nga man xaaral man lii foofu mu leer. jënd xam nga man si obbi laa jógee si dëkk bi laa jógee mu ñu xamuñ yi. yii ne maa ngi gis bu bulu maa ngi gis bu weex maa ngi gis bu red boobu lan la.
waaw bu red bi mooy ndox bu tàng.
waaw bii
waaw bu weex bi mooy normal water.
waaw
bu bulu bi mooy ndox bu sedd.
ndox bu sedd
waaw comme normal dispenser rek. mais différence bi doo ci sol ndox bi da nga koy connecté ci table bi ndox bi ñëw direct la mu filtre ko am nga ndox bu tàng am nga ndox bu sedd
waaye ba pare ma xam bëgg a xam tamit na seen chemical yi ndax seet ngeen ko seetaat ko
laboratoire yi nekk fii ak damay liggéey ak ñoom laboratoire yi nekk Gambia yëpp
dangay liggéey ak ñoom laboratoire yu fi nekk
yëpp damay liggéey ak ñoom
seet ngeen chemical yi seetaat comme ni ko waxee ndox dafa am solo
télé laa nekk
waaw
télé laa nekk ñi ma wax lu amul because even ñoom am nañu ay filtration system bu ñu soxla SPI ci man la ñu ñëw. jeex na
bii nii soo bëggee use courant daf lay jël courant wala.
non bi only 80 watts la. du jël courant.
bii di jël courant.
like sa light yi ni sax ñoo ko ëpp power. because sa light yi 100 watts la bi only 80 watts la. du jël courant dara. it's very economic.
daal am na solo waaye dafa mel ni Aliou time bi nag dafa jeex sax waaye lii am na solo su ko defee comme ni ma ko waxee ndox dafa nekk loo xam ne is a fundamental human right ñëpp a am right si ndox bu set. waral naa ndox bu set te One Stop Water Solution dem ngeen toog ba gis ne ndox bu set problème la te war ngeen a jàppale askan bi si boor bi so ñun nag dinañ daagu ndanka ñëw ba One Stop Water Solution
no problème
window shop seet loo leen fa am
amul benn problème ñu ngi leen di xaar comme ni nga ko waxee rek képp ku ñu bëgg a gis daal mun nga ñëw Sukuta Highway Madam Kunda Johnson wala nga call ci 505
am na solo trop
5691 wala nga call ci 796 8272 wax dëgg yàlla ko li ma la
delluwaasi ñoom numéro yi am na solo
waaw ku ci bëgg ñoo jot rek mun nga ñoo call ci 505 5691 796 8272 wala mun nga ñëw write also email watergambia@gmail.com
waaw ba pare dafa gën a neex Aliou mooy within the December ku fa dem di nga am polo sharks bu blue bi waaw loolu si gën a neex
yéen moom seen bos sax mu ngi fi
anyway thank you so much for joining us really appreciate your time working amuloo morom One Stop Water Solution amuleen morom ñu leen di wax nag de this morning ñun jàppa nañ leen ñun ak yéen ba mu jeex amul stop ay contrat bu jeex ak yooyu ñun contrat bu jeex teguñu fi ñun nag yéen ba mu jeex rek thank you so much am na solo torop so we will go for a short commercial break and when we come back we will head right on to the click segment. Do stay tuned.
Ila nyantolum preji kendomi annun ji senawo adabe hadama dungula balu wala kono annun hadama dunga fengo fengo dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senawo ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadama dung mantora madungul One Stop Water Solutions Limited ibe janne Gambia banko kan annun ye fitarole natal mi yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senel inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senawo natale Gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba One Stop Water Solutions Limited ye fitarle natal mi yalo ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa One Stop Solutions ya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalo ko asidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko asidiota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kende ato fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filkalti mu yalanko asi chemicalo bonnino jiol konole mense bete alla jata kendeya filta mu mboko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemicalo be bondi akono pour kala jata kendeya sahen nim filta sabol be kiliwo kilina pansundoku ngawata tankol fanan sotali kabirim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsimol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kumandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jikuo be sonende Gambia Banko adama bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram one stop water solution limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawet yi bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wérgu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génnee fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gak granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génnee lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sell te óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wérgu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen one stop water solution limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water solution limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q Power. I am QCell. I am Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522 222 353 2222.
Okay, so you won't beat your guy for wrestling, Abi? You won't beat me for wrestling?
No be game we dey play.
No, na game. No get sense, so if you dey play game, so now why you won't come strangle my hand? You won't strangle me? Abi, you won't kill me for 2020?
No.
You want friend Badu or Dosh? I shall give any question of the day.
Yes,
oh yeah, hit me.
Would you sell your Nigerian citizenship for 500 million naira?
Me. Oga, make me I go use toilet.
Excusez-la, mais.
Pardon?
Répétez.
I I said, would you sell your Nigerian citizenship for 500 million naira?
If I could sell my citizenship.
Your citizenship, yeah.
Come on, say they whine me.
No, sir.
No, you cannot tell me. Please say no. You are whining me because you dey talk like say the transformer for Ikorodu don't blow for your head. Say that one a question. That's not a question. That's the opposite of question. That's a question, yeah. Whether I go sell my CTC for how much? For 500,000 naira?
No, I said 500 million naira.
God will punish you. For say you ask me that question, God will punish you. No, as I am a citizen of this country now, what's a benefit? Say you see am for my body, say it look like me I'm a citizen. No, do you see it in my body? As you are a citizen now, do you this citizen na same thing we dey talk. Say this one na country. Say this one na country. I dey ask you, this one na country abi set a capital? Say na country be this. Country wey police dey close their police, dem dey close police station by 6 o'clock because of security reason. Country wey never dey use generator. Country wey say if ambulance jam person like this, ambulance go run. That one na country. No talk now because the way they ask me now, they be like say they whine me because that's a high saw. Yes, one you know, you know me enough. What's a high saw? High saw is when your eyes are saw something. My eyes are saw in your what you're asking me. You understand? My eyes are saw because I know one verse. You know, say this one na country. No, tell me na country where we say pastors don't turn church to circus. Country where we say imams they don't say now until they keep people now in they go fit enter heaven. Say that one na country. Country where say which one wey we talk where police don't kill our people finish. I be the one where we say EFCC go dey chase Yahoo boys. All the main Yahoo men wey dey for up there, they no go catch them because now all those Yahoo men are in they pay their salary. Say it's a country. It's a country. No tell me now because you stay there you be like Shigidisi. No talk now. I see you. Is that one a country? That's not a country. That's a state and capital. Oh yeah. How much you call yourself?
500 million naira.
500 million naira. Give me 3,500. I will sell my citizen inside traffic. Kilo Shele. Say they want me. I got. In fact, give me 500 now. I go sell them for you now because you both say what? A disgraceful state is a reliable capital fool. Oh yeah. Hello. Yeah. Thank you.
Ogami. Wait, which passport should they talk?
Na passport photograph.
All right, beautiful viewers. Brother Shaggy, would you have sold your would you have sold your citizenship for 500 million naira? That's the first question I'll ask.
Too much. 500 million too much. Just give me T5.
Really? That is how cheap your citizenship is.
As I am a citizen, what's the benefits? What's the benefits?
You should be proud of your country.
Of course, I'm proud of my country. Anytime, any day.
I see. Okay, beautiful viewers right there. Thank you for joining us to yet another segment of The Click on this morning. I'm joined by Brother Shaggy, and as you can see, he's all the way from Nigeria. Brother Shaggy, how you dey do?
I do okay. How you do?
I dey.
Maybe I say I go call the leave for Gambia. Say as this guy fresh. You fresh. Everywhere just dey.
You fresh past me.
I know why me.
So, Brother Shaggy, in the early 20s, if you talk about comedy in Africa here, yeah, especially in Nigeria, the person that comes to our mind is Basket Mouth. And I'm sure you know who Basket Mouth is.
Of course.
Yeah, so, but of recently, we've seen that you've come into the game, you've changed everything. Just walk us through your journey into comedy and why you chose comedy. Okay,
first and foremost, let me say, you know, Basket Mouth is a king and is a stand-up comedian. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm just an actor. Right. You know, in Nigeria, people will say he's a comic act. You know, an online comic act, but I'm just an actor. And I would say I started comedy in 2017. Not like I started it professionally in 2017.
Right,
but comedy has always been part of me since I was born. While in church, I would come up with church dramas, bring people together, you know, make them laugh.
Nice.
But 2017, I just decided that okay, I want to stand out. I want to make my own money. I don't want to. I'm tired of going for movie auditions. You know, I'll go for auditions from Monday to Saturday. I'll just get like maybe 2 roles, and they're not lead roles. They're just supporting roles. So I wanted to stand out on my own. That was how I started.
Oh, nice. And we've seen most of your videos. You have a very huge following in Gambia here. Are you aware of that?
I'm aware. I've been told. I'm so happy.
Oh, okay. And have most of them been reaching out?
Yes.
The likes of Tida Joe.
Tida, I've been talking to her. It was my first time meeting her yesterday.
Yesterday,
but we've been,
at the airport?
Yes, at the airport. We've been talking for like a year, more than a year, on Instagram.
Nice. So tell us your experience so far in the Gambia here.
Man, so much love. Honestly, so much love.
That's Gambia for you.
I've always wanted to come because I was told I have so many fans here, so many lovers here, and for me, I just want to reach out to everyone who loves me, you know, and it's not just in Nigeria, it's everywhere. That's why I've come.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's jump straight into the reason why you're here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you're working with African Movement Entertainment. CEO DJ Chi, shouts to DJ Chi, by the way. Yeah. So we want to know how did the connection come? How did it happen? Who reached out to who?
Okay, I would say it's a very big opportunity for him to reach out to us to say, okay, Shaggy, I want you to host this show. I'm bringing Diamond Platinum, and you know how big that is.
Right.
So let me just say this: anybody that is going to miss that show, you are missing a lot.
I know.
Do you know who Diamond Platinum is? Do you understand? You can't afford to miss it. So he reached out to my management, and I was like, yes, why not? I've always wanted to come to Gambia. I have friends here like Tida and others. I definitely want to see people. I want to meet everyone who loves me in Gambia. Yeah.
Nice. So, Brother Shaggy, you are coming to host one of the biggest shows in Gambia. We have someone coming from East Africa. We have you coming from West Africa. You know, meeting here in the Gambia.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good because it's going to be a bomb. You understand? We are going to have fun. We are going to enjoy ourselves. It's going to be. I love the fact that it's now December. This show is going to end the year. I don't know any other show that's coming after, but after this one, show don't finish.
This one is your main business.
This one is the main show. Trust me.
Right. So what are we expecting from you?
Expect Brother Shaggy, expect good vibe, expect fun, expect to dance, expect to wind your waist, expect to laugh. You know, just expect a good show, expect a good night. You know, the reason for this show is after you leave that national stadium, you go on your bed and you find it hard to sleep. You just keep smiling and be like, is it over? Please, when next is it? When is the next one? That's what I'm bringing on table.
I've never heard about that before. Like someone to attend a show and then you be like, what? Is it over?
You keep thinking about it. Yes.
So it means you're coming to something epic, something different.
Bro, something great. Watch out.
Like he's saying, watch out. Beautiful viewers, if you're still joining us, we have Brother Shaggy all the way from Nigeria coming here to host the Diamond Platinum show. So regarding Diamond Platinum, is he here right now or?
He'll be here tomorrow night. He'll be in town tomorrow night. And I'm sure when he's in town, you know. You know.
For me, looking at everything, looking at the whole package, I was thinking, okay, they'll be flying here together.
You know, I'm coming from Nigeria. He's coming from, and everybody, you know, we have different calendars. I don't know what he has for yesterday, what he has for today, but on my calendar, I'm free, and that's why I came.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Thank you.
We're expecting a very nice show, and then yeah, that's it.
And you get it.
Yeah. So so far so good. You've been here. Are we going to see you here again in the Gambia?
Definitely, because I want to come here to work with content creators here.
Okay.
You know, like comedians here.
Okay, so meaning you have plans for the future?
Yes, I have plans for the future to come back. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So just walk us through. Who have you reached out or?
Who have I reached out to?
Yeah.
For now, just Tida. You know, with Tida, I know she can get me close to other content creators.
Content creators here, right?
Yes.
Right. Nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful viewers, that was Brother Shaggy right on the show. He will be hosting the Diamond Platinum show on Saturday, 18th December. You didn't tell him the date.
18th of December, Saturday. If you miss it, you miss heaven. That's it.
What?
Yes. Don't miss it.
Beautiful viewers, that was all we had for you on the Click segment. Do join us next week here, right on QTV. Peace.
Thank you.
The Click segment right there. So Aliu, that was the Click segment. I just hope you'll be attending the event, the Diamond Platinum.
Yeah, no, like, if I tell you wouldn't believe me, at the beginning when I heard like Diamond is coming to the stadium, I was like, who is bringing Diamond to the stadium? I was like,
Diamond.
Exactly. As somebody was like, not Diamond, as an object. It's a Diamond human form. I was like, wow. So I've been hearing about this, so many people are looking forward to it. I mean, so much excitement around town, and then I'm so Saturday, people will come out in their numbers to have fun. It's December, by the way, so coming to the end of the year, so people need to really have fun. So, and then welcome to Gambia once again.
Yes. So viewers, I'm afraid that is all we have time for. Water Solution was here today. They joined us on the program and explained to us all of their products, and now we understand their products, and we know that these are good products that we can use on a daily basis in our different households to be able to have quality water. Till we come your way on Monday. Bye for now.
dama bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wérugu yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sell te óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi
amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings
kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta Highway
Mariama Kunda Johnson
wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu aadama